to the first inaugural episode of Resistance Chicks. Alright, so you want to explain a little about what we're doing?
Okay, so, given the debacle of the media during this past election, November 2016, we decided that, you know what, I love alternative media.
Me too!
So,
I'm so tired of being like force-fed junk
over
and over the
and
same
over and
stories.
over again.
They just mix them up a little bit. It's like...
It doesn't matter what channel that you watch, you're going to get the same story and they're going to say the exact same lines over and over again.
It's just, and so I love the alternative media. I love that people, whether you voted for Trump or not, I believe that most people had to look at these other, people had qualms about voting for Clinton because they started to look at...
They were suspect. It was kind of like, wait a minute, I'm getting this, that's not right. So many people like my mom's age, right, and even our age a little bit, we lived through the Clintons. We've already been there, and so when it came up again, even the people that supported the Clintons the first time around, they're like, wait a minute, you're feeding us the same junk, the same 2-for-1 type platform. There's something fishy here. We know that everybody that knows the Clintons gets the old axe.
So, what we're most excited about is that people are waking up and that there is such a hunger to know real truth and to combat, like, what they have done is my mom always would say, what somebody accuses you of is what they're guilty of. And so everybody kept saying the media is biased. The biased media, they're not telling us the truth. And wherever the Trump rallies were, people would boo the media, boo CNN, because...
We did go to the first thank you rally
in
Cincinnati, and they booed the media. It was like my favorite part of being there.
Well, and because we can see that the story... Google is great because you can research for yourself.
Right.
And CNN is guilty of putting out fake news stories. At one point, one of their anchors had said, if you... even read the WikiLeaks, you could go to jail. Hashtag fake news. Okay, it's just crazy. So
right now, they don't want anybody to read them.
Right now, the biggest thing is that they're fake news. It's like the bully in school got called out, and now he's going around calling everybody else a bully.
Yeah.
Like, no. Okay. So the good news is that I think this election has brought so many people out of the woodwork, regardless of even if you like Trump, because nobody really likes him. But
I'm sure there's people that do.
The movement that has come out of this election is, we're looking at what we're putting in our bodies, the non-GMO movement, the vaccine movement. Regardless on where you are, people want to be able to make their own decisions with their own bodies, for their own children, for their own lives.
Exactly.
And they don't want to be told what to do anymore.
They want their states to be able to, they want to make these decisions within their states, and that's where republic. Right. So that's where I think the Trump movement, the people supporting Trump, are getting back towards, hey, you know what? We're not a democracy, okay? We're a republic.
So that is a good lead-in into these shirts.
So Leah and I, a lot of you know, we should backtrack. Many of you know us from our other YouTube channel, Mass Faith 3, or Leah and Michelle's, whatever, fill in the blank, Virgin Diaries, cooking. We have a homestead here, an urban, suburban homestead. A lot of you know us from that channel. So we had a lot of people suggest to us that we, create an alternative media channel, and we kind of, we knew it was going to be a commitment.
It's not a conspiracy if it's the truth.
So anyway, in addition to us having a homestead here, we're also full-time pet sitters. We go to people's houses and we play with their animals and we get paid money to do it. Best job ever. Okay? Perk of having the best job ever is that people really are crazy about their animals and they appreciate what we do. So one of our clients, who has also become a really good friend of ours, we show up the other day and she gives us these shirts. Like, whatever. So It says, know your past, defend liberty. And what does yours say?
It's a dog hair.
Revolutionary. Well, that goes
76.
76. All right, so we did a little bit of research on these. And
the underground movement, an apparel company founded by two special forces veterans to outfit you with the stories that built America. Yeah. Be revolutionary.
So we're going to, mine says the same thing. So we're going to do a little free plug here. Free advertisement for this company.
So cool. It has this little thing. Know our past. I love it.
And then it says Defend Liberty. It's tumshirts.com. Tums shirts or Tums? Yeah.
T-U-M-S.
Tum Shirts.
T-U-M-S-H-I-R-T-S.com.
Tumshirts.com. Go check them out because they're really trying to, it's more, I think, spreading the word of the fact that we are a republic.
Right.
And our history and getting back to our roots. So I was really excited about that when we got this shirt from our client, and she knows us. She knows that this would be right up our alley, which is really cool that our clients are more of our friends and everything. So we wanted to give a free plug to this company. Free shipping's on 75, which isn't hard to get there because the shirts are kind of expensive.
They're
but
really
if you know anybody that has, or you yourself, that feels strongly about us getting back to our roots and the way that our country was founded upon being, then these would make great Christmas presents. They are multicultural.
Black guy and a white guy.
All right, so do you want to go ahead and move right into the...
why do we need to defend liberty? Because my first depressing story of the day is A Last Kiss for Mama. This is from the UK Daily Mail.
That sounds like such a cute little title.
Jihadi parents bid young daughters goodbye before one walks into a Damascus police station and is blown up by a remote detonator. Do you know what that means? That means some adult with a big bang, blow up 7-year-old. Boom!
Okay, there is we had somebody tell us recently that hell is not a real place, right? This is a whole movement that hell isn't real. And I'm like, okay, hell is real. And that person
a special place
reserved for that person. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they are going there and they're going to stay there and they're going to burn. I was just listening in Mark today where Jesus talks about burning in fire forever. They going to burn.
You can go to the UK Daily Mail. It's Syrian Jihadi parents kiss daughters goodbye. And you can watch the video of the mother in full burqa down to her hands with these adorable little girls. They look like they should be going out to play in the snow and build a snowman, but instead they're being sent to blow people up and blow themselves up.
No, they didn't blow themselves up because they just walked in and it was remotely detonated. Someone else blew them up.
You can watch the video. It looks like the mother is talking to them, saying goodbye. She's holding them. She's kissing them. She's giving them the hugs. And then the next thing you know, they are sitting in between in a full burqa, well, without the face thing, with this man, this monster in the middle who talks to them. Are you afraid to die? And their faces are just. You know what? How do you talk to a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old? Because you're going to go be in heaven because jihad is not just for adults, men. Why aren't the men going to blow things up? You want to be part of it too, don't you, little girl? And he's holding them and he's hugging them. Don't you, little girl, want to go to heaven today? You can go blow up your own.
You know what I want to do? I want to go board a plane and go there and blow them up myself. I would have no problem, like literally no problem, no qualms doing that. And here's the thing. American men have lost this sense of justice, I think, a little bit. It's been taken from them. I don't think that American men would willingly be giving this up. But that sense of righteousness that a man would feel, I feel it as a female, to want to take these guys out and take them down, right? I mean, as Americans,
absolutely.
As a Christian nation, I mean, I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care if you're a Jew, if you're a Christian, or if you're an atheist, okay? There is a moral precedence in this country, and we do not stand for that stuff. Now, am I saying we should go into those countries and, like, do something about it? No, but we've become this, like, weak power, right? And we don't represent it. We just let it happen. And why? Because the president, this current sitting president, encourages this stuff to go on. That's why it continues.
Do you want to surrender so that you're raped and killed by the infidels? You want to kill them? No. We're a glorious religion, not a religion of humiliation. Isn't that so, darling? You won't be scared because you're going to God. Isn't that right?
This is brainwashing at its very highest. When we were kids, like my mom, because she raised us, we were raised in a Christian household, a lot of people accused her of like brainwashing us to be Christians. Okay, come on, people. This is brainwashing. This is classic psychosis. This is what you do to repetitively tell these people something so that they believe it. They become autonomous.
I want to make a plug because if you, when you click on the Snopes, what I love about it is that Snopes I never go there because it's so biased, it's so left. Oh I was reading another article about Snopes today that the founder is in the middle of a divorce with his ex-wife, and his new wife is this call girl who was some sort of like hooker, and in the claims, the divorce claims, he embezzled money from Snopes.com to pay for prostitutes.
Surprise!
But it's not. These aren't real people. These aren't like real investigators. Snopes is not like It's not a place to go to tell you what's right. If you come to my website, it would be the same thing. Okay, I will tell you the truth. Okay, but it's the same thing. You take my word, you can take their word for it. Right. But they're not real reporters. They're not on the ground. They're not even real people. So why do you even go? I mean, they're not. It's just, I mean, okay, they're
real people.
But it's not
obviously.
Like, you know what I mean? They're not, it's not some unbiased journalism. I mean, it's incredibly biased.
It's not really investigative.
But see, when it says you have this big X, it's unproven. It says it's a sad farewell, and the claim is, a video shows Jihadi parents bidding farewell to their two children before one of them blew herself up in a suicide bomb attack. Now, what is so crazy about this is that it says unproven. It makes it look like, well, maybe it's not true.
Right.
This is the entire video. The video is there. Whether the 7-year-old actually was the one who got blown up doesn't matter. She's sitting. They're going to do it.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you can. Michelle hasn't seen the whole video, but there's the mom. I mean, she's saying goodbye, and that's dad, and then the creepazoid comes in later, right here. You want to go to heaven? You're only 9 years old. Okay, it was 7 and 9. I said 5 and 7. Okay,
let's get our facts straight.
I know they're gonna do fake news. All right, so I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on this story. That's that story. And religion of peace, my rear end.
High knee. My high knee.
Religion of peace.
Peace.
Speaking of another...
I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
There's another one I really want you guys to get behind this. It's not all over the internet yet. It's Free Baby Home. Hashtag Free Baby Home. HOLM. Now, Holm.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
There's a couple, and their name is Christian and Danielle Holm, and it's on. You can go to medicalkidnap.com. And what happened was a newborn baby was ripped from her parents after 45 minutes of being born in an Alabama hospital. Now, this is real. This is for real. The parents are posting on Facebook all the time. I think they posted today. They posted yesterday. I think she has 3 degrees. They're not backwoods people, but they have turned their back on consumerism.
They've woken up to what a lot of us are waking up to, but it's still a little bit, there's stuff that we're not seeing, and they've seen a lot of it, and they're making the decision. They're making the tough calls that you and I and a lot of our friends would want to make. Thank God Leah and I aren't married yet and don't have children, because I can guarantee you we would probably be in the same boat as these people. Right?
Okay, so and I guess it was after, so Danielle has 3 bachelor degrees, including 1 in biology and the other in psychology. She's researched vaccines and the vitamin K shot, and she understands the physical risks of vaccination as well as the psychological impact on her newborn, and they've made this conscientious decision not to vaccinate. And they did not want to get a social security number at that moment, which you are
don't have
not
to get a social security number
to get one, nor are you required to get a hospital birth certificate, because you can have a home birth. A baby can be born anywhere. You can get a birth certificate afterwards.
There is no law. Let's just
talk
be clear.
to Obama about birth certificates.
People may be unaware of this, right? There is no law in our Constitution, in our amendments, anywhere that says you legally have to have or give your child a birth certificate or a social security number. So I don't care what state you live in or federally, there is no law.
Right.
So there's no legal foundation for the kidnapping of this child. It's just, that's why we're calling it, and that's why the news media is calling it a kidnap. It's a medical kidnap because they had no right to steal this child from their parents.
Actually, the FBI has stepped in to investigate this quote-unquote medical kidnapping by the Alabama State Child Protective Services. They've also issued them an unconstitutional gag order. So it hasn't blown up. And this is news that you're not going to see on ABC, NBC, CNN. This
Fox
is real news. This couple, even if you just research it and see why did the hospital, let's hear their side of the story. Well, their side of the story is nada. They're not telling us anything.
Aside from the parents they declined getting a birth certificate from the hospital.
And the shots.
And some of you may not understand why you would, because we didn't, right? We didn't understand this for a while. Why you would not want your child to have a birth certificate.
There is EAB, which is enumeration at birth. It's a program by the Social Security Administration. This is a program under which parents may apply for a Social Security card at the time of birth before leaving the hospital if they choose to do so. It is not a law or requirement, but an available option for parents, as the Holmes pointed out. The excerpt actually says, EAB is voluntary for parents in hospitals. EAB is a convenient service option for parents who need a Social Security number for their child.
Which makes it sound optional, right? Because it is.
It says state vital records agencies should not submit Social Security number applications when parents elect not to participate in EAB at birth.
Which I love that. I mean, for those of you that may not be aware, but for those of you that are aware of the New World Order and Agenda 21, it's called enumeration at birth. Right. If you don't know what that means, it means to be given a number. We're not a number. We're human beings.
The mom here.
With this absolutely adorable little child who, guess what, has a name and doesn't have a number. We're not numbers.
Right. Yeah. You don't even know. We weren't even given Social Security numbers until they wanted to tax the
heck
out of us.
I don't think my sister and I got Social Security cards until, we were 5 or 6. My mom didn't even, it wasn't an issue. You didn't have to have one until you were, going into school or something.
Right. So,
and before, when my mom was a kid, it was probably even, you probably didn't get a birth certificate.
There's
or Social Security number.
There's a
later.
Facebook group that you can join. I think it's called, you can go to Christian Holm on Facebook, and then he's got a Facebook group. I think it might be Free Baby Home or something. And I recently joined it. I wanted to read to you her. Okay, yeah, she wrote something yesterday, and let's see. These were, I want you to know that they were itinerant missionaries. And they had kind of just...
Which makes them so evil and awful people. Those missionaries.
They sold everything that they had. They're not on drugs. They don't drink alcohol. They've never been convicted of a crime. She says, my husband has never abused me or anyone. They've always had adequate shelter. She has 3 degrees. She was in nursing at a hospital in Boston, a mental health counselor, a special needs youth group leader. She worked with autism kids, Down syndrome, Asperger's. She was a personal trainer, a chiropractic assistant, a fitness competitor. She's now a holistic healer. They focus on natural, all herbal remedies as to not destroy the body
any more than it already is from the destruction of the environment, as well as having scoliosis of the spine with a metal rod in her back.
So she was making $90,000 a year, I believe I read, before they gave up everything, and they decided to just live serving God. And
that's a big deal.
And serve the Creator. And that's what they say over and over again. We're called by God, and they sold all their possessions, wow. And they're these wonderful free spirits, and they're not, beholden to anyone. And I think it's a wonderful life. And here she's talking again upon the enumeration of birth program. Mm-hmm. It's I think that's what really threw the people off, and that's why they stole the baby. Because if you don't follow them, if you don't fall in a line,
there's an assembly line of life, right? The assembly line of life.
Stamp.
And if you don't do that,
right.
There's like this person with this like little clipboard with the glasses on, and then they notice it, and it's like anomaly, must destroy, must fix the problem. And that's the thing, that America is founded as a free society, and we don't have to follow the stamp.
It says that there was to give more context to this, it says there was a false identity that happened, and it blew up. And it realized it was not them until 3 days later. And they knew, it says, they knew that we were not these falsified criminals 3 days later when fingerprints were taken and we had contacted the FBI, who instantly cleared us.
But who?
They still chose to break the law and hold our innocent baby hostage for no reason.
But that begs the question, and like again, it's not a conspiracy if it's the truth. I'm kind of wondering, what are the odds that they would be mistaken? You know what I mean? For these criminals. That almost seems like it had to have been plugged.
Right.
Put in there.
And this is what she says. A social security number is only for employment reasons. And when our baby is ready to make the decision, he can go and get his own.
Yeah, and that's what I've talked about. We've talked about that a lot, right? Because a lot of people look at us like we have 10 heads. If we ever have kids, we're not going to do like a birth certificate and social security number. And people are like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, hang on. When our friend Kansas, Matt, got here to Ohio, he didn't have his social security card or his birth certificate or something, and so he went to the social security office and he was able to get a birth certificate copy from the hospital that he was born at, and he was able to get a social security number. Okay, granted he had already had those, but this process is really simple.
Ask Obama.
So listen, if your kid gets to be 18 years old and they want a birth certificate and they want all this stuff or whatever. Your kid probably won't if they live with you and your parents and you're super awesome like this. But if you do, guess what? All you have to do is say, listen, my parents were wackos and I never got this social security number and I never got a birth certificate. And bam, them people that do those stamps, they're going to be so happy. I get to give you a stamp and enumerate you. They're going to be so happy to give you that number and that birth certificate, and it's not going to be a problem. Get over it.
What about the illegal immigrants?
So, and guess what? Yeah, they get them. So guess what? It has nothing to do with the fact that they want your child to be normal and grow up and be like everybody else and have their birth certificate, their social security number. No, it has everything to do with the fact that they want to be able to come in and take your baby. And guess what? If you get a birth certificate and you get your child a social security number, you actually give them the right to come and take it. That's true. And that's the problem. You kind of almost waive your rights by giving your child a social security number. You're waiving your rights to that child because you're now saying my child is a property of the state. Can we go into the China thing? It's just while we're on a roll.
Go ahead, real quick. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how many of you know this, but China requires records of all of the social security numbers in America because we owe them so much money and they want to hold us as collateral. They want our numbers because we're collateral to the Chinese because they own us. And so your social security number is now in the Chinese, just like your house is owned by the bank when you pay them money. Yeah. Okay.
The Federal Reserve owns your life. Your birth certificate was made into a bond. It's worth millions.
Anyhow, do you have another story for these people?
A short little story which I found funny. It just made me laugh. The 4 living presidents haven't decided. Only of the 4 living presidents, Obama, Carter, Big Bush, Little Bush.
Big Bush and Little Bush.
So that's 5. 5.
That's good counting.
Four haven't decided whether they're going to come or not.
To the inauguration of
so
President-elect Donald
Carter's
Trump.
the only one who says he's going to come to the inauguration of Donald Trump so far. Big Bush Sr., he's 91, I think, or something like that. And
okay, but he would have a valid excuse because he's, like, old.
But he would probably come if it was Clinton.
Oh, he would totally come if it was
Clinton.
Clinton.
Because they were friends. And what I found interesting is that little Bush decided, little tree, big tree, decided he's not going to decide until the first of the year whether he's going to go or not. I read that. And
well, he needs,
of course,
listen,
Bill
I got to
Clinton,
find out
I think it'd be
if there's other people out there that are going to threaten me. Because I would like to go. But if it's going to put my head on a platter like John the Baptist, then I just need to know. I need to know where the threats are.
Doesn't Obama have to like hand the crown over like with Miss Universe?
No, he would be like the worst Miss Universe ever. He'd be like taking that crown off, and he'd be like, "No, I want to get the crown away. Give me my crown."
Speaking of temper tantrum, that's another funny news story that I keep seeing over and over again. So I'm just gonna let you know is, I guess Ivanka Trump was flying on JetBlue, small little. She wasn't flying on her daddy's plane. In a humble way with her kids, and some homosexual came up. He was there on the plane with his husband, and went on this tirade.
His husband. You just said husband.
That's what he said in the article, unless I've said it. Whatever. His partner for life. Well, probably not for life. Whatever. Okay, do what you want. Whatever. So, anyways, he went on a tirade on the plane. He got kicked off the plane. He said, your father's ruining the country, and they kicked him off the plane. He was pretty, he says that he was, like, calm, but I'm guessing he wasn't calm if he's saying, going on, like, a tirade up. I was, First Amendment rights or whatever. You don't have a right to cross people, especially when they're on the plane with their kids. Imagine if they had done that to Michelle Obama, flying class, with her two daughters.
I'm trying to imagine Michelle Obama flying first class. On a regular airplane?
First class, what is it? I haven't been on an airplane in so long.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to imagine her on a regular airplane.
I know. They don't do that stuff anymore. Okay, so, those are the little news. And so I want to end with, Happy holidays. This is the day before Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. It's the eve of Christmas Eve.
So, right around this time, during the holiday season of 1944, General Patton's Third Army was bogged down in their advance against the Germans. According to WND, WorldNet Daily, Patton was bogged down as he was trying to reach Bastogne, a town in southern Belgium that was held by 15,000 American troops, but encircled by 50,000 Nazi soldiers bearing down on it. Unfortunately, due to the weather, General Patton didn't have the air cover he needed to relieve the 15,000 brave American troops holding off the Germans. That's when he decided to rely on the power of prayer. Patton had Chaplain Friar James O'Neill compose a card to be distributed to each one of the 250,000 troops under his command in the Third Army. Wow. And had all of the men pray this simple prayer. And I'm going to read it to you. And it's
giving me goosebumps.
Really pretty card here. Almighty and most merciful Father, we humbly beseech thee of thy great goodness to restrain these immoderate rains with which we have to contend. And rain, like real rain. They couldn't rescue the troops because of the weather. So they're praying, God, please constrain the skies. We need to rescue our troops. Grant us fair weather for battle. Graciously hearken to us as soldiers who call thee that, armed with thy power, may advance from victory to victory and crush the oppression and wickedness of our enemies and establish thy justice among men and nations. Amen. On the reverse side, Patton wrote, to each officer and soldier in the 3rd United States Army, I wish a Merry Christmas. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We march in our might to complete victory. May God's blessings rest upon each of you this Christmas day. G.S. Patton, Jr., Lieutenant General commanding 3rd United States Army. And it worked! The next day, the weather cleared.
Whoa.
Patton's Third Army made its way into Bastogne to relieve the 101st Airborne, stymie the Nazis, and, well, you know the rest. So, that I'd like to end on that. There's something special around Christmas time. Things happen. Prayers are answered because there's just so many people thinking about Jesus Christ, and there's so many people thinking about the nativity. The Lord gave me a vision. He's like, there's that plain nativity where you see Jesus as a baby, and you got Joseph, and you have Mary, and you got the star. You know, you got this nativity, and everybody who sees it, at this Christmas time, I know a lot of Christians don't really celebrate Christmas, but I love that everybody is singing Christmas carols.
And you know what? I love it. I want to do another plug here, free plug. For the Bethlehem Star movie. You can find it on Facebook. Here's the thing. I don't think anybody believes, that Jesus really was born on December 25th. That's kind of been proven false. But the Bethlehem Star movie kind of takes you through a process where they prove that while the wise men, I'm sorry to crush the nativity scene that's beautiful with the wise men there. The wise men didn't find Jesus
BethlehemStar.com, you can watch it
in
on
a stable.
YouTube.
Okay, they found Jesus in a house when he was probably a toddler. But they did show up, according to the Bethlehem Star movie.
With going back and watching the stars. And they find the star. It's so cool. Watch this documentary.
I hate to do the punchline, but on December 25th. And it is so crazy. And the wise men, they were the first, right, to really celebrate the birth of Jesus. And bring the gifts,
gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right?
Right. So I totally think that for Christmas, we should give each other gold, frankincense, and myrrh, meaning essential oils. So gold, give me the gold, people. Okay. If y'all want to send me Christmas presents,
that's
send me
another
gold.
new story. That's what you're going to hear on this Resistance Chicks a lot. You're going to hear gold, buy silver, get things that are of a tangible value.
The Federal Reserve is the devil, that sort of stuff. Yeah. And current news stories, that is a current thing, because we want you people to be ready, because there's stuff coming. And that's a really good ending for this. I got to tell you guys, there's things that are coming down the line. And I know a lot of you think that Trump is going to be the saving grace to save us from that. But here's the thing. We have a locomotive that is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour off of a cliff. There is no president.
There's no brakes.
There's no person that can stop it. There may be people that we can put down stuff like padding to catch it when it falls, but you can't stop it. It's gonna fall. Okay, the dollar is worth nothing, and they're holding it up with a house of toothpicks. Okay, it is gonna fall. Things are gonna crumble, and you just need to be ready. Okay, so we're gonna bring you guys news stories that are relevant. For right now, to keep you a little bit aware. We're going to hopefully make you laugh and not cry.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Merry Christmas from Resistance Chicks, the first episode. We hope to bring you guys daily episodes, at least 5 days a week. So you can look forward to that. It'll probably be coming at the first of the year. We love you guys.
I was cold.